Hello everybody. In this video the idea is, what I want to do is, I want to deploy the application, the To-Do app, in a server. I know that there are several options out there, some of them are actually free, using probably Netlify, using GitHub Pages, Firebase hosting, there is a bunch of those. And it's really fast actually to do something, and we're going to see something like that later. But the purpose that I want to tell you is I want to give you the real experience, how to set up a server. It's going to be really simple. Don't worry about it. I will give you all the commands that you need. And you will create your own server. In that server, you will install and secure them and with the firewall and install the web server in there. And then we're going to deploy the application in there or the app. Also, we're going to be mapped it with the domain. So we're going to be looking how to do that too. And hope that actually a really good video. So I don't want this to be that long, so let me actually get started. As you can see right now, I'm right now in GoDaddy. And GoDaddy is a really good place to have a domain. So the first step that you need to do is to get a domain. You can get something like, I don't know, on my perfect new domain, for example. And you look for that. And the .com is available for $1 per month, or pretty much like pull down $12 per year. So you need to purchase a domain. I know this some of them are expensive, 9, 15, 12. But some of them, like this one, just cost like $1 for a year. So whatever the budget you have or the domain that you like, there's some premium as you can see too. But you just need to purchase one. It can be your name, it can be a nickname, could be anything that you want. So for example, I will be using Rodolfo Roman.lyc. I already have that one purchased some time ago. So it's taken. Right, I'm the owner of that one. But there is another one, like for example, you can get the info if I want the info, the org, live, whatever you actually need. You just purchase one. After you purchase that one, you need to change the name servers to DigitalOcean, and I will talk about that a little bit later. So what I want to give you too, I want to give you access to this. This is my node for the front-end setup and deployment, and pretty much give you all the options, everything that we need to do, from creating a server, edit the domain, how to the server, change the user, firewall, add the server, node when needed, and how to build the website or what we need to do to the website, right? And how to add even a certificate. So I have all the commands already there, and I want to share that to you. What we need to be doing is actually we need to create a server. And I recommend using DigitalOcean. You can use any providers that you want. If you want to use AWS, you want to Google, whatever, doesn't matter. But I give you a referral link. So you click this link and you go to DigitalOcean, it's going to give you $100 for 60 days. That's pretty neat. It give you get started at least for a couple of months. In order to create, but we're going to be creating a really cheap droplet. But a droplet is pretty much a cheap server. So I want to show you the process that one need to be doing right here. So let me actually open my DigitalOcean console. So you need to go to DigitalOcean through the links that I already gave you. And you need to create an account and follow all the content, add your payment information, stuff like that, right? And you will have like a credit in there. After you have that credit in there, you can access something like this. Let me actually open this the left and the right so we can actually see what we're doing. So we need to go to the server, right? And after you create it, you need to do two things. One, you need to create a server. So it's going to be really quick. Just go here and create a new droplet. I will select Ubuntu 20, that's okay with me. I requested 19 on the version, that doesn't matter, you can go to with 2004, that should be fine. Go to the basic plan and go with the cheapest one. We don't need to have that really big server, so let's go with the cheapest one, right there. and select an area. I will select New York one for myself. You can select any area that you want to have your server there available. And select the password method. So that means that the password is going to be sent it to you. You will be create the password. It looks like now it allows you to create the password for you. That's pretty much really cool. I recommend use SSH, but I will not go to the process. If you know how to do it, you investigate a little bit. I recommend you go to the process to do the SSH key. But for now, let's just keep password set. So what I like to do, I like to install the IP version 6, and I install the monitoring. That will help you. So let's create a really difficult password here. Yeah, you know that would look like. So let's keep it like that for now. I will change the host name. So right here, I will select the host name that I have already purchased. So that's the one that I will put there for to familiarize with the server, because we're going to point that domain to there. And after that, I believe we don't need to enable backup, but it doesn't allow me. Do not send an email, to drop it. Why I didn't like it? Probably because my password is too weak. Maybe. Something is missing. I select Ubuntu, basic, by area. Let me change it to that one. Turn the password. I don't know why it's not picking up. Yeah, that's something really work here. Select your password. You must create the root password. I'm creating the root password. I need to click enter. Yeah, I think that's really what is happening there. Probably because I have my ad blocker. Let me try to remove that. Let's start again. Sorry for the delay. Probably that's the one to actually messing up a little bit. We have Ubuntu basic $5. In your tree, the password area. Version 6. I like it. Okay, I will stop the video right now. This is not working. Okay, I just fixed it. It didn't like my password, so I changed the password to another one. I just get past everything that is supposed to pass. Let me just select these two. Hit those. Let's get back. We have the Ubuntu basic $5. And after you have a really strong password, let me change my host name. And I just create it. and that will not take that long. It's actually going to be really, really fast to be created that droplet. Second step during this actually is creating that, you need to create a new domain DNS. In this DNA domain, you will add the domain that you purchased through provider, whatever you selected. After you do that, in your provider homepage, you need to change the name server. That's really important. Just follow the instruction, and at the end, it's pretty much going to be telling you that the name servers in your provider, that is whatever you get it, need to point to NS1, digitalocean.com, NS2, and NS3. So you need to change those. So you follow that, and now you have your domain pointed to here. So what I'm going to be doing now is going to be select this one, and I will point to my role from month server I just created. I will change this to 30 and second, I believe. Oh, 3 seconds. I will create the record, and what I'm doing is I'm just pointing pretty much my domain, the IP address from my server. That's it. If I go back to my resources, I will check that my server is already created. Am I lucky enough? I should be open your terminal. If you have a Mac computer, you can open the terminal directly. If you have a Windows, recommend you go through PuTTY or any other one, and we can just do SSH root at your domain, and this should be work. If this doesn't pick up right away, it's asking us for permission. We type the password, and I already have received it, and it just let me in. Perfect. But that's a really cool way to have that enter to the server. So that means that you need to have the server already created until you allow you just to. So we already created the server, and we already added the DigitalOcean domain. We are able to log into the server right away. So the first things that we need to be doing now, we need to update. And the simplest way is just copy those commands. You just need to update repositories, just to grab the latest versions of everything, and then we actually upgrade those packages. Yes. And we just wait for a minute or two. So it will take time. It's a really good idea after you create a new server, always update your dependency. That's pretty much what I'm doing right now. And we just need to wait a little bit for allowing this to, see it's going to be really fast, so it should not take that long. Connect. Remember, the user right now is root. Instead of that, you can use the IP address, you can use the domain that we already pointed, and the password is the password that you selected. That's really, really important. So after you have that, wait a little bit. And after you have that, and we have the server created. So now with the root user, we're going to upgrade all the dependencies. After we upgrade all the dependencies, and we actually need to reboot the server the first time, we need to start adding an extra user, and this is going to be user that is not root. It's a really good practice and security to have a user that is not root. We have some root privilege, right? We can elevate some, but you need actually to type the password to that. But by default, the user will not have permission to have the full system permission. That's for security purposes. So after this is going to be finished in a couple of minutes. Done. So we update dependencies, we upgrade all the programs. Now we need to use clean up system applications that we don't need anymore. So that's why we do the apt auto remove. That's going to be right after this finish. And this is the longest 1% process. There you go, done. Cool. So we do the APTF to remove. Oh, nothing needed to be removed, perfect. And just to be safe, sometimes it's needed, sometimes it doesn't, depending how much, how updated the dependencies were already. But it's just the first time you do a simple review. We just wait for some seconds and I will try to connect again. You don't have a response like mine, that means there is not, it didn't restart yet. So we just try again. Now we ask me for the password, that means the server already restarted. Type my password. And voila. Everything is updated and I already have it. Boom. The next step, we need to add a normal user. And this is going to be with the add user. And I will create a username. Here you can create your own username, doesn't matter. I will type the password. I will not put anything there. Just type enter and enter there. That's it. Next step is add the user to be an admin user. So you can elevate some commands in there. And we can actually test it. So now, instead of doing it with root, we can select with the user. It allows you to connect. That means that everything works the way it is supposed to. Let me just go back. Let me return as root one more time because we need to do some changes. We need to open Nano to change the SSH config. SSH is the protocol that we're using to connect, and we need to, after we tested that we can connect with the other user, we need to do some changes in that. So the first thing is we need to look for permit root login and change from yes to no. We can see right away here. That means that root can never be accessed through SSH. That's another security, so you will not be vulnerable to attacks. So we change this to no. And the other thing that we need to change is permit empty passwords to no. And we'll look for that one. There you go, permit empty passwords. You need to remove that pound at the beginning. And that's it. In order to exit this editor, we need to type Ctrl X in your keyboard. It will ask if you save it. We say yes. We just click enter. And it's already saved. And I have those ones right here. Now we need to restart the SSH service. If we get out and we try to log in as root again, we should not be able to do it anymore, even if you put the correct password there. It should give us an error. Perfect. But if we try with your username that we just created before, that one will allow you to go to the server. Cool. So now we disable root login and we have the server. Next step, we need to add a firewall. A firewall pretty much will block any other request that we don't need in any other command, in any other port. So the first thing, USW is the firewall that you want to use by default. So with this status, we need to see with this command, we need to see the status. Because with sudo, we allow us to elevate permissions. So this will like execute something as root, but we'll ask to like elevate those permissions. So it's like we specify when we need to do kind of elevation. We type our password and we set the status inactive. We just need to install it. And we need to type these three commands right here. And I know this looks weird, but we need to allow the SSH connection, is the one that we're using. We're going to allow the HTTP, so it's going to be a web server, and we need to allow the HTTPS secure port. And then we just need to enable firewall with this command. Yes. And the name of the system start. That means that if we check the status again, status active, and the port for the TCP is allowed, and the 88 and 443 are allowed too. So, how cool is that? So now we have the server up and running, updated with a firewall. We need to install Nginx. Simple just to run this command. We say yes. Wait for that for finish. Nginx is a really good and fast HTTP server. And then we select the other one. It will allow us, okay, are you sure? That means that if the server needs to be restarted, Nginx is going to be automatically restarted for us too. So after we have that, we can go as simple as Rodolfo and.syc, and we should be able to see this. If we can see it, we have the server up and running. Now, this is not needed for the to-do application, but we're going to be needed later. So we just need to execute this command to have npm install, and then we just do npm install node. If it doesn't accept it, you can exit the server, go back in. Is the fastest way, correct? And try again the npm install. And this will install the latest Node.js. Perfect. You can see node-v, npm-v. Those are already there. We're going to skip yarn. We don't need yarns right now, so just skip this part. Now we need to look for the website. So this is the URL that we need to have. We need to remember the application itself. We are right now in the home directory. I will keep it like that, and I will create a directory called sites. And here I will go to that sites directory, and I will create another, and I will pretty much copy this, and I will do git clone. That will download our application, and it's already here. We can actually see the index and the application. We do pwd, that's already there. Now, in order to have the app up and running, we need to do a couple of changes. I don't know if I have those right here. Yes. So we need to change permission to the www folder. This is the var www. And what we're doing is we're not telling to who. You need to put your other username there. Sorry for that. So now that means we go to var www, the HTML. This is pretty much the website that we're looking right here. We do nano that file and change this to hello. Let me save it the same way. Control X, yes, enter. If I restart this, it didn't do anything, as always. Let's verify if it's actually changed. Oh, you changed the title right here. This is H1 element. Let's put it here too. Save it, yes, enter. And now it's our hello there. So this is the files that we need to overwrite somehow. So we're going to remove it. And we're going to be copying from our home directory of the site, function, everything here. Now, in this directory, we have the index HTML and the application JavaScript that we had it before. So if we refresh the page, now this is my to-do app. And it's running from a server. That's pretty neat. So one last step that I want to do, just to finish this, is how to install the HTTPS server. And let me just verify something really quick. Let's look for Servbot and Ubuntu 20. Probably those instructions are a little old. And I will update the document, don't worry about that, so you can follow that. But I believe it's simpler now. Yep. Let me just verify this. It is a little more complex. Looks like we just can use let's simplify this, just install Servbot, build this section. Let's see if it actually works. Yeah, perfect. That will pretty much skip all the from here. And we just need to do Servbot auto dash nginx. Oh, Servbot without the auto. Oh, into sudo. So for that, Servbot dash nginx. Oh, we need to go to install that. But next. So we need to HTTP website, yes. It's asking to install the snap. Don't want to use. Okay, yeah, probably we need to do this. Okay. So sudo apt remove Servbot. The one that we just install it. Let's install it to this instruction from the official website. And right now it's telling us that remove all the old way to do it. Perfect, and then through the snap, install Servbot. Don't worry, those commands directly going to be in the document. To just prepare this. Right? It's going to ask you for an email the first time, so just type it, because every certificate needs to be tied with the email somehow. Terms, yes. You're willing to answer for certificate. Share your email. This is going to be whatever you need to share. I will say no, share it. So because we don't have a configuration file with a name, that's okay. We just need to specify, and our domain is the one that you just purchased. In case is rodolforoman.nyc. It's going to do all the validation. It's going to do all the installation. And congratulations, having saved it, and everything should be working now. Let's see if that's correct. So right now we are in tradition. If I refresh this website, you can see that now it's redirecting me to HTTPS. Perfect. So this actually works. Now we need to verify if we can actually renew it. Just to doing this. Relation. So perfect. That means that everything is up and running. We have our application, our main JavaScript to-do app in a server. What I need for this assignment is that URL. That's it. Any question, any doubt, don't hesitate to reach me.